Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's showtime. Hi guys, me again. We have to create a new character. Seasonal. Mage. LightningLens. And we're off. Again. I died for the first time in this season on my level 51 Warlock. One of the bosses in one of the tombs got me. Atropos, I think.
These roads are not kind to my bones. But I must hurry. Wellrin is still a few days away.
Just in case. It is I, LightningLens. I will be bzzting everything down. I'm rich. I mean, think about it. Pieces of gold are would be worth an enormous amount.
As keeper, he wishes to destroy us and steal Atera's legacy. We can't let that happen. We need his help. Your help.
Stupid bird doesn't know enough to come out of the store. I did a little bit of work going through my uniques and whatnot. Fools. To find out what stuff, might be useful at low levels for a mage. 3 spell damage minus 3 spell cost. Spell cost doesn't seem to be mattering just yet. Good evening to whomever has joined me. Welcome to your weekend. Most likely you might work Saturdays and Sundays. I worked Sunday through Thursday for years. A sash of life. Well, a little extra health is a little extra health. I'm not going to say no, because that'd be dumb. And I am many things, and dumb is one of them, from time to time, gotta say. I'm thinking lightning. So we start with lightning blast. Later on, we get more lightning stuff. Some skills can be swapped to be lightning in addition to whatever. In addition or in place of. Missed me.
When you arrived.
Hello, Grael.
I can handle it. Are you all good? Name's I wonder. Come. Let me watch you.
Just so clumsy, the conversational system. I know I keep bringing it up. It's because it's so damned clumsy. Int and some resists. would be nice. I like that. I like being smarter. Okay. Nice freezing, Grail. You keep freezing him, and I'll just bzzzt him. I was watching a couple of the streamers playing a streamer server pre-release version of Dune Awakening. It does look pretty good to me. Well, this one's got more forging potential. Shroud seemed to enjoy it. Datmods was playing. I didn't watch that much of him streaming it. But that is a month plus off. They do have an open, I'm not sure open, an invitation beta that'll be open to some number of people at least. Alright, we have our first spell specialization slot. New skill unlocked for Elemental Nova, thank you, yes. But we want good old Lightning Blast. Let's see what we've got. Front loaded. Less damage per chain. Maximum additional chains. Chains have more range. Chance to shock. Improves the base crit chance. I think I like that. So that is coming in about 2 or 3 weeks, and I think it's going to be up for like 4 days or something. Didn't catch all of the details. I did sign up for it. You can do that on Steam. Just go to the web page for it, the Steam page for it, and there's a clicky. For registering for it. Ooh, all kinds of stuff, including
I'll see you ahead.
a scroll of sparks, which sounds like it should do extra lightning damage. 3 spell damage, a little lightning resistance, and that is a chance to ignite and more spell damage. We don't have an offhand yet. Might as well swap for that. So next month, I think on the 5th, we get Rail Gods of Astera, which I'll be picking up. Played the demo of that. That demo is also available on Steam right now. Also available on Steam right now. Character creator for Dune Awakening, but also a graphics test to see how well you can run it. I think most of the time I was running at 120, dipped down to like 80 and briefly in one place on one of the tests, and as low as 60 I think on the other, but other than that it was really slow. Don't need that. And like I said, I have set aside a whole tab of low-level stuff to see if I can use any of it. Let's see, I could use the swords. But nothing else yet. Oh, the book. If I go with the book, elemental damage leached his health, additional chance. Yeah. In which case, this comes off. Oh, the book. The book goes there. 3 spell damage. 8 mana. We'll go with that, sure. We will join the Circle of Fortune because we'd be crazy not to.
Ah, you. Let me
Are
get a good
you
look at
Galila from the
Yes,
Circle of Fortune? I would like to join the
Galila
virtual Circle of
Wait.
Fortune. And
Ah, you must
Fat
be
loot.
familiar with the science of fortune
our
telling
looty
as well.
options have gone up. We've got
Then
a
you
little
will not be
gold, a little
surprised when I
experience.
formally invite
We'll
you
get more
to
fat
the
loot.
Circle of Fortune.
What's not to love?
Grail was just telling me of your one of their both us, not you are. Even could you, they can do this. And our alliance is secure.
The Fortress
We'll lend our
Gardens.
aid to
Let's
heal
see, what else have we
Borders
got? Snap Freeze. Elemental Nova. Yep. Then we get Mana Strike, which we'll definitely want to have around. And Flame Ward, which we're probably also going to keep. Static. And at least until we get to Static Orb. Beyond that, I don't know. So I'm looking at Lightning Blast, Mana Strike, Flame Ward, Static, and Static Orb. And we'll futz around with these, but I'm not sure. I can now use my portal if I choose to. I may end up having to grab something else to do for single target. As Lightning Blast is at it. It shines when it's chaining between things. Pardon me. Freaking firing from a bajillion miles away. Off-screening bombardiers are annoying. Elemental Nova. I did an Elemental Nova build at one time. I think that was Spellblade. Ooh. Fancy new robes. Mana, health, elemental damage. Yes, please. I will happily take that. Another level, Mana Strike. We definitely want to have Mana Strike, as it's very useful for regenerating your mana, hence the name. And us magey types can burn through our mana pretty quick. Oh. One thing they definitely have got to do, they've got to implement the pause function that they have in PoE 2. I need more smarts, because generally speaking, smartification is good. Dodge rating. Health is better than dodge rating. Even if it's dinky little health. Fireball, we got everything. We don't want everything, but hey, we've got everything for now. He's pretty tough. So against the regular mobs, the lightning blast seems to be sufficient. What the? Oh my god! Seriously? I couldn't move. Because, server disconnect. For Christ's sake, EHG, would you please fix this shit? I get it occasionally. Most of the time, it's if I'm sitting in the in one of the town areas. Now, the thing is, I don't know if the game will consider me to have died or not. It's just so, it just pisses me off so much. I'm getting so sick of it. Doesn't happen a lot. Shouldn't happen at all.
I cannot do that.
I should inform you that I'll be leaving for Majelka as soon as
Have I joined? I have
I'll
joined.
be leaving for Majelka as soon as I am able. If fate brings you there as well, you can find me at the observatory.
It's just so frustrating when it happens. Yeah, I have no teleport point at the fortress walls. I don't know if it thinks I've died. It just, it's so infuriating. And at this point in game design, that shouldn't be fucking happening. Not to a game that's been out for a couple of years. I mean, it's not like it ever happens in any other game. Just occasionally here. Used to happen a lot more, but it still does happen. It happened an hour or two ago when I was sorting through my inventory, picking up stuff to dump it into the tab. I did get the experience, higher level. So it did update the database at some point before I died. But that's why I died. It's because the server had lost the connection. I DC'd already. So I shouldn't have gotten marked down as a death, but I may have, because who the fuck knows? It's just one of those things that, you know, I could forgive them for it when the game first came out. I ain't forgiving it anymore. If I was getting it on other games and stuff, I would say, hey, it's a problem on my end or my ISP's end, but it never happens on it. And the client doesn't even recognize it has happened for 20 or 30 seconds. I can recognize it because I can't move or anything. EHG, love the game. Bought it very early. I had Judd come to my stream a couple times shortly after I bought it. Gave me a couple of free codes for the game to give away, which I did. By the way, Judd, you guys have done an awesome job. Please fix this problem because it's driving me bug fuck crazy. Thank you. Again, not a big deal. Shouldn't be any kind of deal at all. Another level 6. He ran away, but not far enough away. Sucker. Alright, let's see if we can kill this guy while we've got the buff up. The answer is yes, pretty easily. We've got about another third of the time to go. That was definitely a timely... Did I not finish? Yes, I did. That was a timely little piece of shrining right before getting that first boss, who I saw a streamer describe as the toughest boss in the game. He is a pain in the ass. Right off the bat, that's for sure. Chance to double cast, and it deals more critical strikes. I can't double cast by another skill. This is the base crit. I like crits, and I cannot lie. So our base crit on the spell now. Damage, crit, cast speed, crit strength. It doesn't get added in. The base is 5, so I should be at 11% on the spell. Would be nice if we could get more information on our skills, a breakdown as to what exactly all the stats on it are. That's a thing that needs doing.
As Orion ordered.
Fools. They're just fools. Mana regen, fire damage, health, and lightning resist. Sure, we'll take that. 11% spell damage. Sure. We'll take that. Increase lightning damage, intelligence, and yeah. We will definitely take that and drop that there. Things will now die at a much more pleasant pace, as I will bzzzt them. I will bzzzt them all. All I need to do is to shuffle my feet on the floor, on the rug. Spell damage, no. Spell damage. And damage over time. Don't think I'm actually doing any of that, but sure. Throw away the non-magical one. That crap. Who wants non-magical stuff? Magic is where it's at, baby. Poignard. Alright, note to self. A lot of mobs show up. Freeze them. Blast them. Oh, he doesn't appear. Oh, there. It kicked in. The freeze did. We continue on our merry way. Another passive point, and I'm brainier. I now have Glacier. Oh. And I now have Flame Ward as well. Do we rather have Glacier? Probably Glacier. Glacier hits really hard, especially on the third. Basically does like a wave attack. 1, 2, 3, and the third one hits really quite hard. We eventually won't win there. I think we go 8, 1, 1. 5 there and 5 there, I think is the numbers. So again, I have made myself smarterer. Silver Ring, that's movement speed, I believe. Yeah, a little bit increased movement speed. Always welcome in ARPGs. I'm not quite the nut about it that all the speedrunners are. They're all about getting those silver rings early. The Keeper's Vault. That's the Glacier. It's a heavy hitter. And again, still smarter. Plus fire and lightning resists. Yeah, fire and lightning resists. The mage gets pretty good elemental resists. Oh, don't run through the fire lens. That's... Well, we have our first unique drop. That's kind of early. That was not a complaint. Dodge rating if you've been hit. Dodge rating, dex, increased movement speed. Less damage taken while movement. Yeah. Better. For sure. Let's open the door. And a pretty door it is. A bit garish for my tastes, but...
This way. You're here to help protect the sun. The drake. Tread carefully.
Birds. But not like Hitchcock's The Birds.
I cannot do that.
Oh, I'm sans mana. I should be careful about that. It appears that Glacier uses a lot.
Not here. It isn't safe. We'll reconvene outside.
Oh. I think I killed him and his body went flying in that direction? Yes. Amulet of Embers. Cold and physical damage. Fire resist. Melee attack. That's just... It's... Spell damage 1 is better.
That should hold them. First, the howlets are lovely.
My God.
I'll tell you what.
The conversational
Let's
options.
get out of here
Just
first, and then
that
I'll
entire
explain
user
more.
interface has got to go.
These beastalks are hardly worth it if you don't know why or why.
Movement, attack, and cast speed. My cast speed is faster. I'm not going to say no to faster cast speed, as it will allow me to bzzzt things that much faster. And I'm all about the bzzting. Raiment of Sparks. I think that is lightning resist. We've got about 40% of our shrine buff up. Let's go. 20%. Almost gone. And it's still gone. And now it's gone. They didn't mess around with the shrines. The shrines are way improved. It used to be, oh, look, I got a shrine that, increases my damage by a very small amount. A couple of them were good, but now a lot. So it just adds to the fun. Just the plain old dumb fun of things. Which I think really the leveling process needs to be. It needs to be a lot more fun. In ARPGs in general. Well, especially for a player like me who likes playing lots of characters. The more fun the leveling is, the more I like the game. So, for instance, the PoE 2 0.2 patch was the opposite of fun. And all the guys who make their living playing PoE say, it's a slog. It's probably a slog. Another level for me. Another skill slot. Specialization open. We will get that when we get out of this immediate area. The Northern Road. It's a road to the north. Alright, so we've got Bzzzt. What else do we want? Elemental Nova is really good when there are a bunch of mobs around you. Mana Strike is good when you're low on mana, which has only been a problem so far if I dropped a glacier on somebody's head. I think the Elemental Nova. And we want this to be lightning. Has a +1 critical strike chance compared to the others. You can make it all of the elements or just one, I think. All types are enabled, have an equal chance to be cast. Oh, I guess it's just whichever. It's random unless you choose. Let's see, and that's additional damage in area. Fact over here is Nova, more area, good. Spark charges, probably good in the long run. Elemental Novas grant ward. Yeah, ward would be good. Oh, ward on kill. Area. Spark charges. Chance to be overcharged. Overcharged deal bunches more damage. Elemental Nova have increased critical strike chance. I do like the critical strike chance. Comes a channeled ability unleashing 5 novas per second and rapidly draining your mana. I'm not sure about that. But additional area I am sure of. Never trust an old man who has a pet dragonfly. I'm an old man, but I do not have a pet dragon.
I'm sure you have questions, but
I have standards. I'll have you know. I'm not sure what they are. Or if I actually have them. But if I do, I have them in their standards. Anytime now, old man, you can get kidnapped by a dude on a flying critter. Anytime now. Please.
Good. No.
I guess I do have to click on her for it to happen. Nice animations on this, really. Alright, we got that. There used to be a chest over here if you went and checked. So I'm going to went and check. It still is. And we go back to town. Which point the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check and see if we've got any new gear that we have set aside. Just the swords up. The gloves are up. Elemental damage leached is health. And elemental resistance. Pretty good. Vitality, less elemental damage taken, increased elemental damage done. Increased critical strike chance, and more elemental damage leech. Mind you, what I had there was pretty nice. Currently, we have health and lightning resist. Those are no good. No. Damage over time and health. 26 health. Yeah, more health good. Increased spell damage, chance to ignite. I think that's a little bit better. Yes, it is. And the rest of it is stuff we're just going to sell. Oh my god. This is what I mean. We got to get rid of the conversational system with NPCs. It's just so clumsy. And it gets in the way.
Right.
See if there's anything that stands out here that might be available. This is stuff I dropped in here early on in my leveling of my Void Knight.
Everything okay? What? That must... And us. What happened? They're camping. Are you sure? You'll stay safe. Stay
Another
alive.
passive point. All right, we got
And
those.
bring both us back.
1 point there. That opens up that. As soon as we drop 1 there. So we go 1 there, 1 there, 5, and then 5, and that's it for mage. Then we head off for sorcerer.
Fools!
They're fools, you know. I have one of the shrines up. It'll help me deal with things a little faster. Especially these off-screening assholes. Sacred Blooms really hate them. They just suck. How much longer do we have on it? Not long. And it's done. Yeah, keep spinning. Spin to lose in your case. Jerk. It was a trap. It's a trap. Fetch an axe. Old guy movie reference. That was from the classic Army of Darkness. Got 3 in there for the crits. Double casting. Chain additional times but cost more mana. A chance to be granted Lightning Aegis, which increases lightning damage. When we come over here, Lightning Blast deals more damage multiplicative. Less damage per chain. Arcing Power. Lightning Blast chains an additional time for each Lightning Blast you've directly cast up to a maximum. just has a chance to shock enemies. Shock reduces the lightning resistance. That goes into positive protection. That's ward on hit. That's not bad. Supercharged flows. Chance to freeze. And its base lightning damage converted to cold. No, 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 no. We want lightning. It's got to be lightning all the time. I can drop. Oh, you have to get all 4 in there to get to that for increased chain range. Now change to your allies, granting increased damage or critical strike chance. Cast speed. 2 in there. Pardon me, I'm figuring. My additional mana. Current mana cost is 0, so that's not terrible at all. Yeah, I think so. We'll go with that. Again, I'm not following a build guide. I am just winging it. Although now that I think about it, the phrase winging it probably not appropriate since we're fighting the minions of Raye, a lot of whom can fly. They might consider a human winging it as an ethnic insult. Okay, single target. But we will have to decide at some point what our single target is going to be. That point is not yet here. Nemesis, huh? We'll empower him. God damn it. Almost didn't have to use a healing potion there. Almost. I now have Disintegrate. I think we will keep Glacier around as our heavy hitter. Just stuff. Never say no to free stuff. Sound advice for real life, too. Missed me. Loser. Okay, that time you didn't miss me, but you're still a loser. Birds. Stupid Raye worshippers. Well, so far, so bzzzt. You know, unless they counted the one death where the server disconnected, but I don't think they did. Because if they could access the database, I wouldn't have been freaking disconnected. It's good that I don't carry a grudge about this sort of thing. Oh wait, I do. I completely do. Oh, that was very nice. Very satisfying. On the positive side, I have pretty good fire resists right now. We have fire and lightning resist, I think, from Int in the first 8 points we spent in the Spectre. I think, right? Yeah, fire and lightning. Okay, another bird without the brain. Now, the summit. Where the boss waits.
You're here for the Epoch.
Hello, Harospex Orion. Harospex is an actual
But it's mine.
word.
Member wing.
You don't often see it. Sort of a fortune teller. Not sure if that hit or not. Ow!
The Epoch is ours. Raya, aid me.
Ow! Fire? I forgot my marshmallows. Ooh, that kind of hurt. Stung. A little bit. Not gonna lie. Ugh!
Raya.
Now get me out of here.
Whiner.
The power if more than which, speaking of, let's head back
Back to the camp.
to Lean at once.
Let's see. Well, actually, before I start looking at that, we should check and see if there's anything that's swapping in from the tab of Powerful Delights. Increase fire damage. Ignite with fire. When you kill an enemy with a fire skill. Fire spells. Not really my... I'm doing Bzzzt here, okay? We don't do whoosh or crackle, crackle, crackle. We do Bzzzt. Important. Anything else in here? No, not that. Nope, and I think. Right. So, lightning resist. Int, fire resist, and health. With some mana, way better. Little fizz resist. Mana, int, fire, and health. Int, health, regen, and fizz. I think the other one's better. Right, we've got some uniques that we're already using. Increase lightning damage. Increase necrotic and minion. That does nothing for me. I'm not excited by that. 5 spell damage. 6. 6 is greater than 5. I have my numbers down pat.
Reaper's blessing.
Right.
Prayers be with you.
All right, we talked to her, and then we talked to him, and then we're off
Quiet.
to the distant future
Go back.
where the void is taking over the world. If that sounds bad, that's because it's bad.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you too. This is what's best for us all.
I still have no idea why he does this. His explanation. I am entering the crumbling ruins. That's the way the ruins crumble. We have a piece of the Epoch. I believe this is already unlocked for us. It is.
The shard seems to have taken me somewhere, yet my surroundings appear familiar.
My character is talking to himself. Fools! Fools! I say fools a lot about, presumably, everybody who's not me. Possibly even though, me. That's ding 10. Avoid despair. When you hit an enemy with a lightning skill, you cast arcane lightning at additional enemies, dealing lightning damage. It has a 5-second cooldown. Get up to 5 points. Arcane lightning will always crit. Not sure if actually any good, but should be good for dealing with batches of mobs, I expect. Where's here? Cultists, the void, okay. Basically, we're in the distant future when the void is overrunning the whole damn. Kinda sucks. But apparently, it couldn't be avoided. Joke. Wasn't funny, so I'm not sure technically that's a joke. Hey, come on. Those other guys picked a fight with you and you jump right past them to attack me. Kind of a dick move.
Watch over you.
Urge sent me. How do you know? Foretold holder, the elders. Why don't I take me to him? No, okay, I accept.
Gods.
I hope you all caught all of that. Last refuge outskirts. Evidently, the last refuge wears a dress. Council chambers, please. Very well, I accept.
Gods be with you.
Run, you stupid mutt. He's talking to his dog. I wonder if the dog's still here. Used to be the dog would follow me. Guess now it stays with him. Loyal. I like that. I admire that in a dog. Then that's kind of their shtick, isn't it? Loyalty is is the dog thing. Cats like to be independent. Dogs are more about you than themselves. Don't you guys mind? I'm trying to get places. I have people to talk to and meet, things to do.
Gods be with you.
All right. You guys can't keep a single Void Despair from jumping on me, can you? They're just not very good at their jobs. Let's see, where were we going? We're going here. We need 2 before we can go on to any points. And over here. Are we going to go there? No. There, I think. There.
Stay safe.
Just a goodies. Okay, maybe goodies is an exaggeration. A little bit of gold. It is satisfying when a whole bunch of them just croak.
Fools! I cannot do that.
He's coming back. Hit the little green circle underneath if they're coming back. Yep, brand new mage. Created approximately 58 minutes and 41 seconds ago. And he's going to throw around lightning bolts and such. Like that.
Farewell.
I'm not following a guide, I'm just winging it, so the build will suck. But it'll probably do okay. At least until monoliths. Or maps, if you're a PoE player. The equivalent. Oops. Oh, ice beetle. Boring! Much more fun of the shrines that give you, like, superpowers. Another level for me. Oh, there goes my pet beetle. You will be remembered. We will sing of you. It'll probably be a Beatles tune. Yeah, the leveling in the game is very forgiving. So a player with no knowledge of the game can probably manage to get to the end game. They'll just be slow.
You here?
As will I. That and that. What did we just open up? Frostclaw. have Frostclaw, then Glacier. Maybe? We'll stick with Glacier for now. Lightning Blast is sufficient for the lower tier mobs. The batches. Box of goodies for sure. Alright, goodies. Maybe not so much. What you please? Decided it build was going to be electricity, and by God, that's what it's going to be. All right. Elder Urza. Mind you, that's not Urza from the Magic the Gathering. Urza. Different Urza. Spelled differently.
You there, help me.
And then here comes the big boy.
Get them off me.
See if we can just tank our way through. More or less.
Go on.
More
I'll be
or
right
less than
behind
more.
you.
Alright, back. And we're into the council chambers. Yay. There was much rejoicing.
What? Go on then. Bah.
Point.
I see.
You, I see you, though now eld I heard that it we plead the gods have long left this world, but their memory
A couple
will
of
give
idols.
you
We'll go through
comfort. Be safe.
our stacks of idols before.
Yes.
The hat, mana int and fire resist. I like that one better. Lightning damage, health, and fizz resist. Sold. More numbers, but in this case, not better numbers. See, there's 6 spell, and yeah. Those can both go away because we have more delicious options for idols. What would we like? We would like some void resist because we're fighting void things. So, void. There. Void resist would be good. Void resist, void damage, damage, void damage, void damage, void resist. How about on the small? Ooh, there we go. Void resist. We have another. There it is. I've got a lot of idols. Void resist. That's a better void resistance percentage. That's an even better one, isn't it? Yes. Why not use the best? More void resistance. Hell, a herd of Winnebagos. We're giving them away. That's an old guy music reference. More void resistance. Not much. More void resistance. There we go. We went from 0 void resistance to 30. Decent leveling gear. Most people started naked. Yeah, well, this is my 3rd character for the season. So yeah, I've got all kinds of... I have far too many tabs. I have 24 tabs worth of stuff. This one I set aside specifically for whatever new character I was going to make as a mage. Cold. I'm not hitting with cold. I decided on lightning, so a lot of this is no longer applicable. Pardon the yawn. It's not because I'm bored, it's because I'm old. And my understanding is yawning is caused by an excess of carbon dioxide in the blood. And I talk a lot when I stream. I talk a lot when I don't stream. But I talk a lot when I stream. And so I don't practice breathing sufficiently, and so I yawn a lot. How about some glacier for you guys? Well, oh, increased experience. Not sure how much the experience has increased, but... Fools, fools, fools. Excuse me, sir. I know you didn't like me impinging on your place. Whoops. Oh my god, I didn't even see the loot lizard. I'm so embarrassed. To not see a loot lizard is almost like a crime. Alright, that will activate the 5-point bonus here. And the last 5 points will go there in Warden. Now I have Volcanic Orb. Let's play around a little with the Volcanic Orb. See what we think of that. I didn't want to inspect that. Well, we'll go with the... crits, right? Yeah, crits. I like big crits, and I cannot lie. We want to keep that up. Keep us from getting overrun, and then Volcanic Orb. There we go. Oh, wrong way. I went the wrong way. And that won't be the last time. I always have been a fan of the more castery classes in games, generally speaking, but the first build for this season was the same build as I had for... Oh, that seemed to work rather nicely. Oh, for the launch of the game, which was, in essence... Auto Bomber Void Knight. And I did it again because it worked well the first time, and it worked very well. I've gotten him up to level 81. He hasn't died yet. That build is very strong, but then Sentinel is very, very strong. Right? Basically, all the strongest builds in the league right now are the Sentinels. If anyone played the game at launch and remembers how overpowered Horde was, that's how overpowered Sentinel is right now. I think the most powerful right now is Judgment Paladin, I believe, as it's essentially unkillable when built correctly. But I wasn't having any real trouble staying alive on my Void Knight at level 81. He just hit empowered monos. So, hey, you were supposed to die, sir. So hard to get good help. 1.0 mage was able to reach 65k ward. Yeah. Yep. And basically, he couldn't die. Let's see, where did we want to go? That was chains, half of the maximum chains. That one was additional lightning damage. Yeah, we wanted that one. Nova Frostclaw. I played a Frostclaw build. I don't remember which one in 1.0. I purchased the game a couple of years before the release. I bought it in early access, and I have about 800 hours in the game now, I think. So obviously, I'm a fan.
I cannot do.
They've done so much right. I still have some issues with the game because, of course, I do. I'm a cranky old man. I have issues with everything.
I cannot do that.
That's the way when you're an old man. You have issues with everything. Everything. How about you just eat some elemental everything damage right in the face? Return back to town. Yeah, one of the things I like about the game is that I don't think you really have to have a build guide. I think a new player to the game can just wing it and do. They can probably get to monos. I would expect monoliths at the end game. They'd get there a lot slower, obviously. Let's see if any of my goodies are available to me yet. I don't think so. You can move these to there and know that they're not available. Nothing else is available yet.
Yes.
That's got lightning, health, and fizz. Nope. 9 spell damage. What do we got between the two of these? Int and cast speed. 3 spell damage. Not good enough. Also not good enough. Alright. Return to Urza. That's right. He's got to drop off the gloves, I think.
What?
Didn't you promise me a reward? Another passive point. Let's see, 330 and 13. 336 and 13. The ones I've got are better. It's your first ARPG. Glad you didn't play PoE. PoE has got a lot going for it. PoE 1. PoE 2, wait. I would give PoE 2 a strong wait. When it becomes available for commercial release, when it is free to play, as another example, I would just wait. PoE 1 is very, very unapproachable. But it's a deeper game than Last Epoch. Significantly deeper. Because they've had years and years where they were producing 4 new content patches every year. Every 3 months. So of course it's going to be a lot deeper. However, PoE 2 is a much simpler game to learn to play. It is a much more difficult game to actually play in that you're not as powerful. PoE 1 is extraordinarily complicated, and I have described for years as having the most actively hostile gameplay for a new player in any game I've ever seen. The quality of the game is really, really good in PoE 1. I mean, I've got thousands of hours in PoE 1. So obviously, I think it's a really good game. But it's not friendly. And one of the ways I describe that unfriendliness is it was at least 2 years I'd been playing it, so 8 leagues I'd been playing it, before I discovered that increased is not the same as more. Increased damage, the skill, the passive tree is incredibly daunting, but it's not anywhere near as complicated as it looks. A lot of the nodes on it are very simple, just transit nodes that give you a few stat points. So it's nowhere near as complicated as it looks, but it is very complicated. It's the interrelations of the skills. So like I was saying, it was years, at least 2 years, before I knew there was a difference between increased damage and more. Increased damage is additive. More damage is multiplicative. So 20% increased plus 20% increased is 40% increased. But 20% more and 20% more, those are multiplied, so you actually get 144% increase. So ideally in a PoE build, you want a lot of increased, and then you want the more to multiply it. And that's where you get the powers and that kind of interaction. And that's not clear, it's not explained. And that's why playing PoE 1 for a new player is incredibly daunting. Last Epoch is so much more straightforward. One of the common ways of describing Last Epoch is complexity. It's between Diablo 4 and PoE 1. And I think that's fair. David Brevik was the primary designer behind Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. And his wife used to stream a lot, and he would often sit next to her. And her reaction when she first saw the passive tree for PoE was, as she scrolled back, she went, "Holy shit balls." And his response was, "Mm-hmm. All right, that thing is bad, and I want to kill the loot lizard. Oh, that's not good. Would you please stop that, sir? Sir, I am not enjoying your presence, sir."
I cannot do that.
That thing was tough. Stick to LE for now? I'm not going to tell you not to, that's for sure. For me, I mean, I played all of the, well, used to play all of the PoE leagues, but we haven't had a new PoE league in like 9 months. Because they swapped everybody onto PoE 2, contrary to what they had promised they were going to do. And I think that they are shooting themselves in the face. Not even in the foot. In the face. With the way they've been treating their own... The game they made their money off of for years. They've been kind of treating it like, eh. And the PoE audience, which has been loyal for so many years. I mean, there are so many people who every 3 months there'd be a new league, and these people would buy supporter packs every 3 months. All of those people are being insulted is too strong, are being ignored, actively ignored by the current development paradigm. And I just think that's incredibly dumb and destructive. To have such a loyal player base. That's another loot lizard. Where do you think you're going? You know you're not getting away. You know I'm never letting you go. Holy crap. And, you know, you don't... Regaining the trust of a player base that feels like they're being ignored is extraordinarily difficult. They're continuing to do them dirty, I think. All right, we have a nemesis. We're going to empower him more. The last time he was tough. This time he's going to be way tougher. Missed me. Maybe I shouldn't taunt the bad lightning mage man. Yeah, lightning cracks, dude. I get it. He's going to be really annoying when he gets to phase 3. And I want to fight him to get his loot. You guys heard lightning cracks. So in other ARPGs, we've got another one in the works. It's not by the same team. Well, first of all, there's an expansion coming for Grim Dawn, which is another really good ARPG. And the sequel to their first project, Titan Quest, is getting a second game, but not by the same team. These big guys are just a little bit too tough. I need to start busting out the... There we go. We now have static. He's coming back, and he's back. He thought he was going to fool me. I wasn't fooled for a moment. The Upper District. So it is kind of a good era right now for ARPGs. Let's get rid of that. That. And that. Taking up more space than I need them to.
Where are you going?
Where are you going? It's like the worst voice work in the game. It's terrible. Fools. They're fools. In case you weren't paying attention, they're fools. Gotta say, lightning blast kind of not blowing up my skirts anymore, you know? I mean, technically I'm not wearing skirts, so of course they're not wearing my skirts. That wouldn't make any sense. Stop spitting out critters. It's rude and disgusting. Nobody likes someone who spits, okay? So just stop. I think when the mobs come running up, I should go back to trying a little bit more Elemental Nova. Seems okay. I asked you guys to stop spitting at me. It's gross and unsanitary. And also, ew. That's all, just ew. Oh, this way. This way. Just not getting enough damage from those initial hits. That was not what I wanted to do. I mean, clearly all of these guys had to go because they were in my way. Oh, what's back the other way? Oh, that's a lot of them. I think they just need to be burned with fire. That's all. Back the other way. That's right. There's an NPC we need to kill back there. 2 a.m. there. Have a good one next time. Hey, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Sleep well. Enjoy your weekend. Oh, there's the bad man. Got him. Oh, the bee sword. I don't think I've got one of those in this league yet. It's on there. Bye, guys. And I think that's our 20th passive point, so we won't spend any more because we're about to be able to pick our elite specialization. Which I think we're going to go with Sorcerer. On these mobs, the Lightning Blast does a good job, but they're less beefy. Well, one of them's still alive, although not for long. One of the guards. I wonder if it's possible to actually keep any of the guards alive. I'm dubious. Still alive. Trying to keep him alive. Well, he lived until the boss mob showed up. I'm not sure the boss mob's going to take a whole lot of fire. He took a good amount of fire. I don't think the NPC I was trying to keep alive is alive anymore. I think he got void fused to death.
I cannot do that.
That. Boots, gloves.
I am not a
Nope,
man
I'm
of
full,
many
of course.
pockets.
That seems to be a full in basically every game that has an inventory. Mine is always full. Crafting. We talked to the dude about the crafting.
Take care of yourself.
We have that. We have our first one unspent point, but we're holding on to that. All right, we have a nice beetle buddy. An infernal champion. Well, I'm really not interested in fighting the infernal champions. Ooh, that kind of hurt. I think he's following me. He thinks I'm sexy. And who am I to say he's wrong? Right from here, I think we're just going to... talk to this guy, and then we head fight the boss of this particular area, and then we go to the actual end of time, and we get an upgrade. All right, so chain lightning is costing more now. I think I would just like more flat damage on the damn thing. Less bonus per chain, additional chains. Chance to double cast. Additional crit multi. We have to put 4 points in though to get there for the quadruple cast. Alright. Bad guy boss man coming.
Stay back.
Hi, Elder Panion. How you doing? Oh, not so great, it appears. Gotta say, that's not a good thing. A poor shot by yours truly. quite exactly see where the end of the spell effect was. Alright, he's going to do... Got him. Not the fastest kill ever.
See an elder twisted like this. What a waste.
Shields? No, thank you. Don't do shields around here. I'm a mage. For goodness sake.
What is this place?
You seem a little disoriented. This is what don't. He might be kind enough. Stay safe.
Alright, reach at the grave. That's minions. Fingers of the Phantom Mire. An LP on it. Evade is replaced by Terrify. More damage to feared enemies. Swiftness, attack, and cast speed. Chance to slow. Immune to slow. Increase mana regen. Not especially sexy. But this, with Void and Fire Resist, and mana, and attributes. Not sure if that's actually better than that. We got the runes. If we were going to go Spellblade, we could dual wield. I think eventually dual wield those. Positive about that, actually. Maybe. Let's see. Storm Crown. +1 to lightning skills. Lightning Pin. Int. Shock chance per int. Yes, I will gladly pay you Tuesday for hamburger today. What is the other Velatria's piece? Is that it? 46. Weird that this one's wearable on level 14 and the second piece of the set isn't usable until level 46. But Meteor is converted to lightning. That has some possibilities. +1 to lightning spells. Which means, they both have lightning spells. Over here, we've got 3 in there for the critical chance. More Nova space. What that was. Channel, but it costs a lot. I prefer it to not cost a lot. Spark charges. I think eventually we want to get spark charges, but I don't think we need them now. Ward on kill. Not convinced. Spark charges lead to overcharging. We'll go with the spark charges, I guess. Let's see. Int, Fizz, and Void. No. The hat is now Velatria's. We'll drop that off. Drop that off. Those two off. Theoretically, that off. Well, not theoretically. We just did drop it off.
Hey there, want to try your luck?
Yeah, I can't think anything's going to beat that, at least not for quite some time. Boots, we've got 13% movement speed. They've got dex. They're not that great. So if I could get something better, I would use that something. Spell damage, chance for lightning blast to chain 4 additional times. Okay. Sure, you could probably talk me into that. Spell damage, mana, and health. Yeah. Improvement. That ring is terrible. I'm not even going to sell it. I'm just going to drop it. It's contagious. That one's better than that one. You know? Spell the book. Probably better. Lightning damage. Spell damage. Let's stick with that for now. Or maybe not. Intelligence and ward per second. That's what we'll stick with. Alright, we have done all of that. Would we like to take a gamble? We could take a gamble. Spell void damage. I'm not really interested in spell void damage. 4 to 6 spell. That's got 6. Those are really disappointing options, I must say. 6 to 10 spell damage. There we're going. Now we're talking 1,000. Oh my god. Sure.
A fine choice. Good eye.
Melee lightning, increased damage over time. That one was disappointing. You know, I've got thousands.
Want to give it another shot?
Oh, good. That was really bad. Come on.
Just means you're due for a big
Oh,
one.
good.
Don't worry.
2 commons in a row. 3 out of the 4 were common. All I can really say about that is bleep. That's pretty much it. Wonder how often. I don't want to sell him back to this guy. He'll just sell him to some other sucker. Fine. We'll go up. Welcome to the end of time. I don't really know much about the big ass end of time dragon that's flying around. I think his name is Fluffy.
You've woken. I see you. Your count. If I then close your
Okay,
eyes,
so we could go with Rune Master,
some
but
potential
that's rather more
used to
complicated
wield
and a little
as
more techy
I guide the
because it's
shades
combo
to you.
based if you really want to get into it. Spellblade is more melee mage, battle mage, but I think Sorcerer gives us 50 more mana. Spells deal 1% more damage per mana cost, up to 50% more. That's a multiplier. Ward gained on melee use and hit at least one enemy. Mana spent on melee attacks converted to ward, so a lot of defense in that one. And this one, cast speed with elemental spells and increased elemental damage. That one's very combo based. If you throw, sort of like you can set up combinations like a fire spell, a lightning spell, and another lightning spell, and then use the runic invocation. And every combo, up to 3, has different effects it generates. But I'm going to choose Sorcerer. You can change now. You didn't used to be able to change, but now you can change your master.
I see that you are still you.
Hi, Gaspar.
Strength will be necessary if
I should
our
have 2
world,
points.
our
I do.
Reality
We go
is
to
have
Sorcerer.
any hope.
And now we browse. Let's see. Arcane Momentum. When you cast a spell, you gain a stack of Arcane Momentum for 2 seconds, and refreshing the duration of listing stacks. Cast speed. No. Int, probably. And increased spell critical strike chance per int of 3%. Yeah, that's... Yeah. Word per second per 10 max mana. That's pretty good, too. What's the second tier look like? Spell damage per stack? No. Spell damage and ward retention. 4-point bonus there isn't bad. 6-point bonus there. More mana. Lots more mana. Mana. I think we start with this one. More int. You get 5 points in that. You get spell critical strike chance per int of 3%. That's not additive. That is, if you have plus 3%, that means if you had 5, you now have 8%. 3% increase of 5 is 0.15%. It's just math, guys. So my spell crit chances now. 8 as the base. If you were to add 30%, that wouldn't go to 38. So the 16% increased, and the plus 6 spell damage are different. If we had 10 spell, if we're doing 10 damage with a spell, the plus 6 would make it 16. If we then add the 16%, 16% of 16 is 2.56%. So we would go to 18.56%. ARPGs, they don't necessarily make it easy. Essentially, pluses to base are always added on.
Why?
The void corrupted him. He came over all dead. I murdered him. Don't worry. It only hurt for the rest of his life. So he's doing better now. Trust me, would I lie?
The temple of Etera is far.
We talked to this guy. Welcome. We finished off what he needed. We went back in time. You know about time rifts. Okay, this one wants us to find the lesser refuge, is what it's called. Anything in here? No changes here, I think. Quiet down there. My tummy is talking to me. It does that sometimes. Increased damage, ward gained on potion, necrotic resistance. That's got the spell damage and the lightning blast to chain additionally. That seems pretty okay to me. So now we've got the permission from Gaspar in this time to let us out. And those nest-looking things. And unfortunately, break open into a whole shitload of, like, bees or wasps or something. Something unpleasant, untoward, unwanted. Do not stand in the poison. As a general rule, poison bad. Definitely feels like I'm doing a lot more damage. And we've got a lot more mana to work with as well. Definitely feeling much stronger. That's another level for me. I'm level 17. I am unstoppable. Force of nature. Actually, these things are like it's like wasps and stuff. So yeah, that's more of a force of nature thing. I would say wasps and stuff. Yeah, I would. He's big. What the hell is that shit. Not fond of the rubber banding there. Not a fan, gotta say. I have a phoenix to immolate my foes.
The cultists had a philosophy.
Yeah, their philosophy didn't work out great for them. Maybe if we embrace the void, it won't eat our souls. It was a philosophy. It ate their souls. Oh. Foolish critter running the wrong way. Ah. They're having a real good time. And I can't blame them for having a good time. It's the end of the world as they know it. They feel fine. Definitely feeling tougher, doing more damage. Feels good to be a sorcerer. My electricity is doing a better job of bzzting things. My balls of flaming fire do a lot of flaming fire damage. The way you would. Yeah. This way we have an idol. They have a big circle around me. We're in there slowed, I think. And he's coming right back. And he's back. You know him, you love him. You... Is he back again, too? Another level for me. 18. Ew. He burst. Who bursts? That's just wrong on so many levels. Going up there. Why don't you guys just eat a little lightning? lots and lots of void dudes. Acolyte. Do I look like an acolyte? One who trucks with dead creatures. Not likely. That's not my vibe, man. I follow the arcane way. Shitloads of magical stuff, man, you know? Acolytes are just edgelords, you know. Grab all those. Level 19. I wish to learn. My favorite voice work in the game.
I cannot do that.
No, didn't want that. Fine. Fine. And the cultist camp. I'm sure they're good guys. I mean, they're part of a religious organization. We have 2. More int, and our critical strike chance has increased. We're now up to 12% critical strike chance with our spells. It's a start. Let's see. Overcharge chance. Nova to overcharge. That's just increase in flat damage. Surely. We'll get the 2 quests here. Go through our gear. Again, checking to see if we've got any upgrades in the box.
Go on.
Increase critical strike chance with lightning skills. Well, you know, that's kind of what I'm using, but right now, I kind of want to keep the void resistance. Because everything we're fighting is void stuff. For the next 6 or 8 levels or so. So we'll put that there for now. Can't use that one for a very long time. Can't use this one yet. Anything new unlock over here? The Mad Alchemist's Ladle. 16 spell damage base. Increase cast speed per int. Mana gained on potion use per int. Damage per negative ailment on the target. And it has chances to slow, put frailty, shred armor, electrify, and poison. Plus, a 72% chance to ignite on hit because it had 1 LP. This ring. Healing effectiveness. Spell damage. Health and mana. Mana spent gained as ward. Yes, we want this. Elemental damage. Mana regen. Health regen. Health. I think we want it there. Let's see. 8% increased spell damage. That one's got mana and ward per second. The ward per second is quite good. 6 and 12. A little bit less ward, a little bit more int. Increased elemental damage. That's right. Thank you for playing. Elemental damage, lightning damage, poison resist, which we had none, and a little bit of lightning resist. So our fire and lightning resists are good. Our physical is non-existent. Our void and cold are meh. Poison's pretty good. Necrotic and physical, however, are hurt. That's tempting. Why are those hitting the ground?
I cannot do that.
That's why. Yep. I am going to call it here for the evening, I think. Well, let's do a quick check and see if there's any forging we can really quickly throw on. We can add another resist here. Fizz resist would be good. A little bit of physical resistance couldn't hurt. A little more spell damage, maybe? Oh, that's good. 13 physical resist. A little more spell damage. I approve. Over here, elemental damage, lightning damage. Also good. More damage is good. We have an open prefix here. Int. Int would probably be fine. If it's available. May not be available. Doesn't look like it's available. Zarek's Guile. We don't have enough of that. I think we're going to throw that around. We'll go with lightning damage. Is spell damage available? Doesn't look like spell damage available, so we'll go lightning damage. Throw some health. Additional health is good. So much stuff is just getting betterer and better. And on this ring, I believe we can get int. We can get int. More int, good. Additional tier of health. Okay, thank you. You know, for something that had 5 forging potential, for me to make 4 crafts on that already, and it still has a couple left, it's just dumb, but good. Dumb, but good. I think I'm going to call it here for the evening, though. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. As always, I am very appreciative. It's possible I'll play more off-stream. I'm not sure. But I should be back tomorrow at the usual time. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. With more Last Epoch, presumably on LightningLens. But I think that's going to do it for tonight. Again, thanks for hanging out. Always appreciated. I hope the rest of your Friday evening, or possibly Saturday morning, goes great. I hope your weekend kicks ass. I will expect a complete report on your weekend on my desk first thing Monday morning. Have a great weekend. Take care, and